Coming to Wednesday of week 5, we go to Bengal. So as you know, or you might not know, that Bengalis love fish. And this is a very common dish in Bengal, mustard fish. We do it with carp normally when we are in India or in Bengal. Here I love salmon. The reason is it is a fleshy fish. It is very forgiving, and what I want to do is do it a little differently. So I'll show you when I cook. But I put turmeric powder and chili powder and some salt and put it in the fridge. So this is dried out the fishes. So it's very important because fish has a lot of water. So when you fry, this will not splatter. And we'll do one other thing with some flour. So what we'll do is we'll put the flour on our hands and then tap it onto the fish. So that will do two things. One is it will dry out the fish a little bit more, but also at the end it will give a slight crust, which is going to be fantastic when we eat it. And then we have some eggplants which I cut, salt, turmeric and chili powder, rubbed it in and put it in the fridge. Again, you can see that this is dry. So this will fry. I sometimes bake it as well. You can bake it at 450 degrees for 15-20 minutes. That will give a different bit of taste. It doesn't need as much oil. So again, it's your call. Today we'll fry it. And then for the rest of the ingredients, so this is a mustard fish, right? So I have two types of mustard that has been soaking for about half an hour. So black mustard and white mustard. So we'll grind this and then we'll use that. We'll use some yogurt. This is plain yogurt. And this is Kalonji or Nigella seeds, a little bit, a pinch of it. So this will flavor my mustard oil. So this mustard oil is very important for this fish because it gives that distinct mustard flavor. And at the end, what we will do is we'll drizzle some of this mustard oil, raw mustard oil, on top of the fish for garnish, along with some coriander seeds. We have two types of green chilies. So this one will fry along with the Nigella seeds or Kalonji. This one is more for flavoring the gravy. So that's what we'll use that for. We need some yellow color in the dish. So we have turmeric here, about 1 teaspoon there. We need some sweetness. So we have some sugar here. And this is my addition. Sometimes, people put it, sometimes they don't. I like the color. Yellow and red really makes it bright and shiny. So we'll do that. And then normally what happens is you cook all of this and you put it into the sauce. I have spent so much time on frying the fish, frying the eggplants. I like to serve it a little differently. I don't put all of these vegetables and the fish in the gravy, but I serve it as a sauce. So this is a mustard sauce and I'll serve it on the side with the fish and the vegetables. One of the other things that normally is used is called bori or lentil balls, which are dried in the sun. I didn't find a good quality Bengali type boris or lentil balls. So we're not going to use it today. But if you can find it, certainly that's another thing that you can use, fry it and then put it onto the plate. It gives a little bit of crunch. Again, I really don't like putting it into the sauce just because the crunchiness goes away when you put that lentil ball or bori into the gravy. So that's it, folks. So let's start cooking. Let's start frying the fishes and the vegetables, and then we'll create the gravy. The main time is spent on frying. The gravy is really quick, really fast, and we'll show that to you. My son has asked me to bake the eggplant, so instead of frying, today we'll bake it. We'll put some oil in it. Again, we'll put mustard oil to give that same flavoring, and then we'll coat it, put it into the oven at 450 for 15 minutes. To put it in the oven, we put oil, mustard oil, and covered it on the eggplants, and then placed it on an aluminum lined oven dish to bake it at 450 for about 15-20 minutes. The pan is hot, so we'll put some oil. You don't need too much. So the theory is that your oil should be cold and your pan hot. Flour in my hands, and then I want to tap the fish with a little bit of flour. It's not too much, but just a little bit. And then put it on and put it always away from you, so that it doesn't splatter. So again, put some flour, a little bit of flour on the fish, and then put it onto the pan away from you. So maybe we'll fry 3 at a time, because I have a big pan. If you have smaller pans, you can certainly fry 2. So we'll fry it on one side till it's golden, and then we'll turn it over and fry it on the other side. So we'll turn this over. I think the one side is done. See, it's beautiful golden, and it has that little bit of crust. That's what I was looking for. Be careful. Use 2 spatulas to turn it over. So that's a beautiful golden brown and a lovely crust. Turn it over and see if the second side is done. You can see this has beautiful golden color as well. So we'll take this out, and then we'll put it onto a paper towel draped plate, and then cook the second batch. Taken out the second batch as well, so I sprinkle a little bit of salt, because always, after you fry, this is to season it. So that's it. So we'll keep this, we'll cook the gravy and let the eggplants get roasted, and then we'll put it together. Oven is at 450. Put this in for 15 minutes. I fried the fish in this pan, so I'll put in a little bit of mustard oil. So I took out the oil that I fried the fish in, that was regular oil. For this gravy, I want to put a little bit of about a tablespoon or tablespoon and a half of mustard oil, but I've kept all those goodness from frying the fish in the oil. So at this point, we want to add in the kalonji. The chilies that were slit in half, this is the mustard paste, so you don't need too much, so just put it in. put in a little bit of water and then add the turmeric. So this will give it a bright yellow color. If you wanted to make it more hot, chili wise, you can certainly add a little bit of red pepper powder. Just cook it for a few minutes. Add the tomatoes, let it cook. And the sugar. Put in the yogurt. So we haven't put in any salt yet. We add a little bit more water. We want the tomatoes to be fully cooked. So what we will do is we'll add some salt. And then put a cover on this to let the tomatoes come to a boil, so that will cook it quickly. This has come to a boil. So we want it to thicken. So let's taste it. It needs some salt. The heat level is good, so we don't need any more heat. Okay, so that's good. So we let it thicken for a little bit and let the tomatoes cook for a little bit more. I don't want to break it too much because the red color will pop when we put it onto the plate. So I'll put it on high and let the water cook out and cook the masala with it. So again, very simple dish, easy to make and very tasty. The baked eggplants are out of the oven, so you can see it's beautifully golden brown. So we'll plate it. Normally, what in a typical cuisine, what they do is they will put all the fish into the sauce, put all of the vegetables or the eggplants into the sauce, and then cook it and serve it. The way I like to serve it is more Western style. So I want to use this as a sauce and then put the fish and the vegetables on the side. So what I'll do is I will pour this sauce into the plate. And then put the fish maybe on one side. What do you think? Or maybe 3 on this side and 3 on this side. And then put the eggplants in the middle. So what this does is it will keep the crunch of the fish, and it will keep the crunchiness of the vegetables, and so it doesn't become soggy. Just a different way of presenting the same dish. And then to finish it off, like to put some cilantro, and not to forget the mustard oil. So this will give a beautiful smell from the fish, from the mustard oil. This is the same taste, but in a different presentation. Hopefully you like the presentation, you like the way that we cooked it. If it's different from the way you cook it, no issues. I just wanted to show a different version, my version of the same dish. A little bit of twist, but keeping the original taste intact. So thank you again for watching all the videos, subscribing and then sharing. I love your comments, but please do post your thoughts, and if you have made the video, made any of the recipes, please do post them. Thank you very much. Have a good night and bon appetit.